During this video, I'm going to show you how to create your first video ad campaign inside of Google AdWords. Now, if you do not have a Google AdWords account, you can sign up for one for free over at adwords.google.com. And when you get signed up, if it's your first time creating a campaign, you should see a screen that looks pretty much identical to this, welcoming us. And we have an option here at the top left that says create your first campaign. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to click on that. Let that get loaded up here. Now for the type of campaign that we would like to create, we want to click this drop down menu and we want to select online video because we're going to be creating our ad for the YouTube video. So we're going to let this load up. It's going to take us to a new campaign screen. Now once we're all loaded up here, we should have a screen something similar to this right here. First of all, you need to give it a campaign name. So I'm just going to name this Demo Ad for Tutorial. And next up is your budget. How much do you want to spend per day? So I'm going to go with just $5 for now. For our delivery method, if we click the blue link here and have that drop down, we can choose standard, which is set by default, where it's going to show our ad evenly over time, or we can choose accelerated, where it's going to show our ad as quickly as possible and spend our $5 as quickly as possible. So completely up to you on what kind of ad you're running. I'm going to leave mine on standard for now. Next up, we have our networks. I recommend leaving all three of these check marked so that you can have your ad displayed across, the broadest audience that it possibly can. Leaving just one of these check marked, it's really going to minimize your audience. It's going to take a lot longer for you to get the amount of views that you're looking to get. Next up, we have our location. Do you want to advertise to all of the countries and territories? Do you want to advertise to just the United States or Canada? Again, completely up to you and whatever it is that you are advertising. I'm going to advertise to just the United States and Canada. And for your language, you want to make sure that you choose the language that your video is in. If I have a video in Spanish, I'm not going to choose English. And if my video is in English, I'm not going to choose Spanish. I'm going to leave mine on English. Next up, Google needs to know which video that we want to advertise. So you can click in here, you can start searching for your video. You can paste the URL to your YouTube video. So if I just search how to change oil, you're going to see it comes up with all these different results. So I'll choose this one as if it's my video. And scrolling down a little bit more here, we have in-stream ads and in-display ads. Now you can choose to have both of these running, which is what I recommend, or you can choose just to have one or the other running. Now in-stream ads is what you see when you're watching a YouTube video and they show you an advertisement first before the video starts. That's what an in-stream ad is. Now the great thing about the in-stream ad is that you only pay if the viewer watches for at least 30 seconds or to the end of your ad, whichever comes first. So I know a lot of people when the ad starts, you can skip the ad within a few seconds. So if they do that to your video or your ad, you do not pay for it. You only pay if they watch the entire thing or the first 30 seconds. Over on the right hand side, we can see an image of what that looks like. And I'm sure you're familiar with that if you've ever watched a video on YouTube and seen an ad. If you would like to run an in-stream ad, they are going to need a display URL and a destination URL. So for example, you could say mywebsite.com, and over here on the right hand side you can see a sample of what that looks like. It says mywebsite.com, and now for your destination URL, it could be mywebsite.com/3948 YouTube click ad banner 1, all the different tracking parameters that you're using. That would be your actual destination URL, but you don't want to put that in your display URL because that's going to look kind of ugly with all the information on your ad like that. So go with that. Now for your companion banner, that's what's going to be over here on the right hand side of the ad. So when your ad shows, there's also going to be a banner over here. Now you can choose to have the banner automatically generated from the video itself, which is recommended, or you could upload your own image. So I'm going to keep mine on auto generated, so it'll automatically place an image for me over there on my companion banner, and that's all we have to do for our in-stream ads. Next up, we have the in-display ads. Now this is your ad appearing on search results, related videos as a video overlay, or on the Google Network partner websites. Now over on the right hand side, we can see what this would look like on YouTube search results. For example, you'll be at the top for your keyword. This is what your ad would look like if it's displayed on related YouTube videos, or as a video overlay, or your ad on a partner website. So if you would like to do this, you need to choose the thumbnail that you want to use from your video. you need to give your ad a headline and 2 description sentences, almost like, pay-per-click with Google AdWords or Facebook PPC. You need to give it a headline and then your 2 descriptions, as you can see over here on the right hand side. Now, when using the in-display ads, you can choose to have the visitor go to your YouTube page, or they can go to that specific video page that you're advertising. Either one is fine. I prefer to send them to my actual YouTube page to try to get them to subscribe and see my other links and to watch other videos, but completely up to you. Next up, we need to give this an ad name. So I will just leave this as, let's see here, demo ad number 1. And now we get to choose the different platforms that we would like our ad to be displayed on. So if I click the advanced mobile and tablet options here, and I click on edit, we can select where we want our ad to be shown. So for example, if I was advertising an app for your iPhone, for example, and it only worked on iPhone, I would not want to advertise to people who have, Androids and Windows phones, right? Because my app is only for the iPhone. So I would come in here to the operating system. I would choose the Let Me Choose option, and I only want to advertise to the iOS, which is the iPhone. So I'm going to click that little arrow there, and just like that, that's all I'm advertising to. I'm going to click on Done here, and now my advertisement is only going to show to iPhone users. Last but not least, down here at the very bottom of our campaign setup, we do have a few advanced options. For example, our scheduling. We can choose to have our advertisement just start now and, just keep going throughout the day, or we can get very, very specific and show exactly when we want our ad to be shown. We can tell the campaign to run at a certain day, at a certain time. We can create a custom schedule here. For example, I want my ad to start on the 19th. I don't want it to end. I want it to run every single day, but I only want it to run from, let's say, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Let's say, for example, I want to do that. And depending on what I'm advertising, perhaps this is, the only time that I want to advertise. So I could change all these different days to 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. and my ad will only run from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Also, for our ad delivery and our frequency caps, we have a few different options that we can choose for our ad rotation. We can have YouTube automatically show our ads as long as it's getting us views. So they're optimizing our ad to get us as many views as possible, or we can choose for them to optimize our ad to get as many conversions as possible. So they're only going to show the ad if it's more likely that that visitor is going to click it and become a conversion for us, or we can have them rotate it evenly. I like to optimize mine for views because I like to get as many views and as much brand recognition as I possibly can. Also, we can limit the amount of times that the same person can see our ad. You can leave it on no cap at all, or we can limit this to, let's say, 5 impressions per day per each unique visitor. That means if someone's on YouTube all day and they see our ad 5 times, they're not going to see it again for the rest of that day. And once you have all of the settings lined up to fit your needs, we're going to click on Save and Continue. Next, on the final screen here is where we're going to choose our targeting and our bidding. First of all, we can give our ad a name here. We can name this Demo Group Number 1. And then we need to choose our bidding. This is how much you are willing to spend if someone watches your ad for the first 30 seconds. So I could go with 5 cents, for example. You can see the typical right now is between 9 cents and 94 cents. And remember, you only pay this if they watch your ad for the first 30 seconds or all the way, or if they click your ad, whichever one comes first. If we click this link here, we can bid differently for in-display ads and in-stream ads. And as you can see, the typical bidding is a little different, or you can choose to keep it the exact same or switch it up depending on your style. Now, whatever you choose, on the right-hand side, you're going to see our little estimation tool over here updates depending on which options that we choose. So if we are bidding 5 cents per view and we keep the targeting as is, we can expect around 500 views with an average of 4 cents per view. So let's go ahead and narrow down our targeting over here. We have our demographics and our interest. Now for the demographics, we can click on that there. We can choose our age group, we can choose our gender, and we can choose our parental status. So the video I chose was how to change your oil. So maybe I'm targeting people who are looking to become more, mechanically suave. Okay, they're looking to, become a little more independent when it comes to working on their car. So I'm going to choose people between 18 and 34, just like that there. So let me uncheck these. I am going to target men and women, and I'm going to target people who are not a parent, because if you're a parent and you're around the age, you're pretty busy. You don't have time to learn how to work on your car. So I'm going to click on done. Now for my interest here, let's edit this. And I am just going to start searching for a keyword like auto, for example, because I'm targeting people who are interested in working on cars. So I'm going to add auto parts and accessories, maybe auto repair and maintenance. That's perfect. And we'll go with that for now. I'm going to click on done here. And now already we are a lot more detailed in who we are targeting. We are only targeting men and women between 18 and 34 who have an interest in auto vehicles and auto repair. And once we have all of that selected, we can click on Save Targeting Group. And just like that, we have created our first video ad campaign with Google AdWords.